Hello, everyone. Soulbagger here. Welcome back to the dance floor. Today, we're going to check out another one of the amazing Black Pants Legion's videos from the with the Tex Talks Battletech series, narrated by the amazing Tex himself. Today, we're going to learn about the Thor/Summoner, a mech that I remember very much in playing MechWarrior 2. Battle Mech I admittedly was not the biggest fan of, just because of how strange it looked, having one really big cool looking arm and another like little squiggly T-Rex arm. But it is, from what I've seen on the battlefield, it is definitely a mech you do not want to take lightly. You know, at me, I'm a Timberwolf guy. Always have been, always will be. But the Thor can be pretty impressive. And we're going to learn more about it. So come out here on the dance floor. Let's see what Tex Talks Battletech has to say about the Thor/Summoner today. I see that the YouTube guard is out right now. If the image has anything to go off of, I didn't know the Atlas and the Awesome were part of the YouTube brigade. Hey, Tex Talks Battletech, let's go.
Howdy there, folks. Tex of the Black Pants Legion here. This is a series called Tex Talks Battletech, which, if you're not familiar with it, it's because YouTube has more or less declared war on fun.
That's true. I'm not Tex, by the way.
Where I talk about the universe of Battletech, from the mechs to the pilots to the history that contains them. Battletech fun.
There you go. There's Tex.
This is a segment where I talk about the universe of Battletech, from the mechs to the pilots to the history that contains them. This entry was chosen by my fans and subscribers on a channel poll. Polls which you may see if you are indeed a subscriber.
Yep.
This time around, we're covering the
Thank you for
Thor.
the support.
So you may be asking
There it is,
yourself,
the Thor.
What the hell is a Thor? Well, firstly, only some of you are going to call it a Thor. Dirty clanners are going to call it a summoner, because they're Jade Falcon, and they don't like anything, and they're so keen to conquer the inner sphere, and then proceed to lose to space AT&T.
It was a draw. It was a draw between Jade Falcon and the phone company. You know, them and the Ghost Bear, they got the draw. Everybody else except for Clan Wolf lost. You know, Clan Wolf being the only one actually bringing the fight to Comstar. But yeah, yeah. The Jade Falcons. That's a faction and a half. But you know what? At least it's not Smoke Jaguar.
Comstar for life, baby.
Oh.
Well, okay, let's get back to the main point. What the inner sphere designated the Thor, they did so after the Old Norse god of fucking shit up. Lightning, storms, and strength, and oak trees? Yeah, oak trees. I'm not making that up. God of Oak.
You know what? I can believe it.
The inner sphere labeled the Thor as such because it's robust as all hell. The Thor is a highly mobile 70-ton Omnimech with respectable jump capacity.
A little Space Station 13 reference.
Truck, and it can get in your face in seconds. As I am massively inclined to call myself proudly a citizen of the inner sphere, I'm going to refer to this mech as the Thor from here on out. Clanners can downvote at their leisure, but I will be challenging them to a trial of possession for their pants shortly.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. So what do we got here? The Thor, aka the Summoner. I typically, since I grew up with MechWarrior 2 being my very first MechWarrior game I ever played in the 90s, I'm used to referencing clan tech in their original clan designations. So the Thor wasn't something I would say very often until like MechWarrior 4 and later entries when that started getting used more often just because of the perspective of who you're playing as, right? So what do we got here? Manufacturers from Eaglecraft Group, St. Louis Mech Works. Production year that was in 2872. Model the Prime configuration. It's a 70 tonner, so this is indeed a heavy mech. Wow, look at that cost. 21 million C-bills. Yeah, you're paying a premium with these things, man. You're paying out the nose, absolutely. I mean, you can get like a number of other like medium, heavy, and assault battle mechs from the inner sphere for a lot cheaper. It ain't a clan mech, but you know, you can field more of them if you're going off of, you know, just pure cost. However, does your old school battle mech have heated seats unlike the Thor here? I didn't think so. Well, the only thing heating your seat is, in the old designs are the overheating uh, from the fusion engine. What else we got here? Ferrofibrous armor, which if you don't know, ferrofibrous armor is really slick armor that's gives you a lot of extra room for a bunch of cool things, which is very important for Omnimech design. Um, However, I believe when you actually strip that armor off, it exposes a lot of the structures that can easily be critted when you're getting internal shots in, unlike standard armor, which is, I believe, heavier. Um, but there's a lot of areas that you can do critical strikes on that will do nothing. Clan Tech, however, has it to where if you once you lose the ferrofibrous armor, um, you need to get out of there because all the compartments that have all the different places for your internals are easily exposed now, and yeah, you're gonna be racking up crits really fast. So let's see, it's a Redline 350 XL communications model JD67. Gosh damn it! I just said 67. Son of a. All right, all right. All right, moving on. Targeting track system is a Hawkeye 58. 14 double heat sinks. Double, by the way. Super hype. Um, yeah, you don't know joy in the Battletech universe until you're rocking double heat sinks. Let's see here. Speed. This thing can go 86 kilometers an hour. That's pretty good speed for a heavy mech. Jump jets are JF standard. Primary configuration. I had some mixed feelings at the primary configuration. LB-10X autocannon, that thing does brutal work, but man, you run out of ammo really fast. LRM-15s are pretty good. ER-PPCs, great range, great damage. A lot of heat, though. So, and you have your battle value in the bottom there for whichever error or whichever version of battle value you're using to create balanced forces in Battletech Classic. So, yeah. Okay, let's see here.
See how that shakes out. Now, Omnimech is clanner speak for Clan Coyote Space Magic. Basically, an Omnimech is a massively configurable, customizable modular weapon system. The Thor is a 70-ton Omnimech that is essentially a wild card, capable of being fit into any combat role and excelling at it. Or at least being very competent in a general configuration within the tonnage of a heavy mech. Whereas many Omnimechs generally trend towards specialization within a niche and a variety within that specialization, the Thor is a clan heavy that is reasonably balanced across mobility, bang bang, and durability. As well, it is notably reliable and fairly common across all clanner developments. In most cases, the Thor has an advanced, lightweight, and very reliable Redline 350XL engine that drives the mech comfortably to its combat speed of 86 kilometers per hour. For communication, the Thor carries a model JD-067, manufactured
He said it too.
Thor and the Thor.
Why do we have to live in the time of cringe?
By Clan Jade Falcon. The targeting system is a Hawkeye 58, serving targeting and tracking plus advanced fire control.
Yeah, see, look, check out the. I'm gonna disappear here for a moment. Whoop. Yeah, so like, check this out. Cool big arm that you would see on like Timberwolves and stuff, and then little bitty T-Rex arm on the other side, and the cockpit's offset to make room for a giant shoulder-mounted rocket launcher weapon or any other weapon of that configuration.
Being jump capable to 150 meters in a single bound is combined with its speed to afford extreme mobility for a heavy mech.
Yeah, it's pretty fast for a heavy.
Advanced clanner ferrofibrous, and it has 9.5 tons of it in most configurations. So it's a fairly robust mech in the damage mitigation department. Rounding things out for heat mitigation are 14 double heat sinks, which allow it to use its weapons free, without much need or worry of heat management.
I'd buy that for $1.
The history of the Thor is somewhat shrouded.
Oh,
mainly because the clanners are a insular culture, to say the least. Starting in 2863, the mech was introduced by Clan Jade Falcon after acquiring the Omnimech technology from Clan Coyote. Between that time and the clan invasion crossing into the periphery, in the late 3040s, the clan more or less used it for slap fights. I mean, honor duels amongst themselves.
Yeah, that's...
Based on this continued infight.
That's, yeah, that's very, very accurate. For those of you who don't know, the clans, which are basically the whatever remnants left of the Inner Sphere's Star League Defense Force, when they left the Inner Sphere, because they didn't want to participate in the following wars that would precede the post-American Civil War era, eventually known as the Succession Wars. They left to go far, far away, a lot of, to basically start anew, and eventually come back to help right the wrongs that was happening in Inner Sphere. They would eventually go out so far to the point where, well, they found new space, but the problem is that a lot of their, there's no infrastructure, there's no agriculture. They had to start from scratch, and things were very scarce, right? And a lot of infighting happened, and then, well, if you know what the whole debacle with Alexander Kerensky's son, with what's his name? Is it Nicholas Kerensky? And him basically redoing everything and basically creating the clans. These guys have incredible technology levels from stuff that they were able to build off of from the days of the Star League. Tech that is considered lost tech in the Inner Sphere, at least at this time. They may have amazing technology, but unfortunately a lot of the natural resources and stuff they have to work with, manpower and things like that, are a lot more strained. They're working with a lot less. So, unlike the Inner Sphere, which launches invasions over, spare parts for mechs and stuff or anything less, these guys don't have the capacity to do such things. So if they want to demand something from another clan, they have a slap fight. I mean, they have an honor duel, trials of possession, trials of refusal, right? Trials of grievance, stuff like that. They do everything with trials. So that way it's uniform, more of a warrior culture, right? I fight you, you fight me, might makes right. They fight, they deal with it, they resolve it, they move on. to minimize the amount of impact, because they can't afford to do what the Innisphere does on a daily basis. And eventually we'll come to a video where that becomes very apparent front and center.
Between genetically engineered super soldiers driven by an honor-burdened military society, the Thor was developed into quite an effective murder platform, and the clanners who drove them learned how to apply the weapon where it did the most damage. So, after nearly 2 centuries of practice with the damn thing, the clans invaded the Inner Sphere and pretty much blew everyone away.
Man, look at that art.
Metaphorically as well as quite literally.
That's a gargoyle right there, by the way.
Away.
The one few mech
As
with
it turns
teeth.
out, having a 200-year plus edge on somebody because you didn't lose technology stupidly through technological regression over the course of 4 massive wars is pretty goddamn powerful.
Yeah, that's literally what he's talking about right there.
Alongside extremely competent and capable commanders, the clans managed to smash the hell out of the Inner Sphere in a blitzkrieg not since recreated in the history of.
Yeah, so that's exactly what Tex is talking about there. The clans, even though they were really strained with resources and things that the Inner Sphere has had for, at this point over or close to almost well, actually that would be how many what would that be, 7 millennia or something like that. Yeah, something like that. They've had a lot of time to develop their logistics and stuff, starting on Earth or Terra, and then expanding out into the known region eventually called the Inner Sphere and the Periphery. They've had a lot of time to develop stuff. At the same time, they've had a lot of time to destroy each other constantly with the succession wars, constantly bombing each other back to the Stone Age. So yeah, massive technological regression, a lot of tech lost, whereas opposed to the clans out in deep space, they don't have a lot to work with, but the stuff they do have to work with, they were already working with Peak, and they made Peak better. And now they're reinvading the Inner Sphere with Peak against non-Peak. And so that's basically what Tex was kind of talking about there. Also, shout out to the Mad Cat Mark II. That thing is absolutely baller. Look at that. That thing is awesome. At least I'm pretty sure it's Mark II.
The Inner Sphere. One-on-one, tonnage for tonnage, Inner Sphere pilots found themselves outmatched by better machinery, pilots bred for the purpose of driving it into combat, and a technological edge that bordered on nightmare fuel. As for Thor variants, well, there's a lot, so buckle the fuck up. As stated, this is an Omnimech, and therefore the notion of a primary or standard configuration is laughable. The clans each have their own preferences, and each mission may carry custom loadouts. Clanners customize their rides more than a jingle truck driver in Afghanistan, or a Solaris jock on Solaris 7, or that kid around the block who bought a 1988 Honda Civic hatchback and won't stop talking about the sick time he's been putting in down at the drag.
I tend to roll with the prime configurations usually.
A default configuration most would find unimaginative, but damned effective by 3050 standards.
I'm very boring like that.
1 ERPPC, 1 LB-10X autocannon, and 1 LRM-15. These 3 weapons allow it to fight at long to medium range comfortably, with the knowledge they can easily redeploy at a moment's notice if things get dicey. Now as for alternative variants. Okay, let's dive into these quickly because there are umpteen bajillion of them. Each clan vehicle is like this because clanners only think in terms of war. That explains their music and culture. Take that, right in the feels, if you had any, which you don't. Alternative configuration.
Yeah, you can tell Tex is not a fan of the
all
clans.
weaponry with a Gauss rifle, a large pulse laser, and an SRM-6. Alternative configuration B carries 2 LRM-20s to become king of Mistletown. And for short...
Yeah, anytime I pick a configuration or edit what I have for Inner Sphere battle mechs, playing any mech that is just pure missile boats, just I can't do it. I'm too concerned about running out of ammo and just like having nothing else to show for it. At least in MechWarrior 5, I can go fisticuffs if that's an option. but you can't kick in MechWarrior 5. I wish you could. I have a little off. Have a little. Have a little bit of a like a trade. It's like I can kick, but if I miss, then give me the chance to fall down and deal damage to myself and have to spend time getting back up. Like in the tabletop. I don't know. Maybe one day, maybe they'll add it one day. But yeah, I need at least like a medium laser or something like that on it, just so I feel like I have a fallback weapon once I run out of ammo.
Range as to SRM4s, because if you're going to die to ammunition explosions, you might as well be seen from orbit. Alternative configuration C is your general worst nightmare build because it jumps into range.
We got an ER large laser, an ultra autocannon 20. Holy shit. Streak SRM 6 and one ER small laser. Bruh. Maybe I should give the summoner more of a chance next time in the future.
And it has an ER large laser, an ultra autocannon 20, and streak SRM 6s because fuck you, you can't have nice things.
So yeah, to translate, just the ultra autocannon 20. That 20 there means that if you get a successful hit, you're dealing 20 points of damage. 20 points of damage in the tabletop for the classic version. That's enough to force the pilot to make a pilot skill roll. If he fails that skill roll, his ass is going over and crashing on the ground. So yeah, nothing to sneeze at. You start hitting like damage like that, you're gonna have a bad day.
The D model is balanced. It has 2 ER large lasers for long range, 2 ER medium lasers for shorter-ish range, and an advanced targeting computer, plus machine guns to handle proles on foot, and an anti-missile system round things out so you can stand there and strut around like a total Chad in a war zone.
I actually like
Model
the D
E
configuration. That's pretty sick, actually.
Tactical missiles with an ERPPC for backup. When you have an ERPPC for backup purposes, you're talking about a clan mech. Model F is sometimes known as the King of DACA because it has 2 rapid-firing Ultra AC-5s, 1 in each arm, plus 2 ER medium lasers for backup, and an LRM-10 to discourage everything else. Why? Because it's funny. Model G is a sniping variant, blending the model's stated rapid mobility and pairing it with 1 ER PPC and 1 large laser. For backup, 6 SRM-4s
heavy small laser. I don't think I've ever actually
scout mechs need to
come
die
across one of those things in the
pull
loadout.
of the trigger. Model H is a Model D, but on space crack. 2 heavy large lasers plus 2 ER medium lasers and a targeting computer allows for it to decide who dies and then make them do so directly by surgically applying overwhelming heavy damage to where it will have catastrophic hilarious effect. Model M. Well, Model M is driven by a cartoon overlord by the name of Nikolai Malthus.
There he is.
This guy's an idiot.
There he is.
He's such an idiot that his appearances are non-canonical, apocryphal, except in the sense that the whole cartoon is now considered an in-universe propaganda. That's how you fucking retcon, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, we gotta talk about that real quick. So Nikolai Malthus, the meme man himself, during the Battletech cartoon, yes, there was a Battletech cartoon in the 90s. Nikolai Malthus was like the big bad guy for Clan Jade Falcon. And I guarantee you, if you're involved in Battletech, you've probably seen someone post a picture of his face before, and with the caption of him declaring a bachal, and I gosh, who was it? Was it it wasn't Adams? It wasn't Adam Steiner, was it? I don't remember who it was he was talking to. But yeah, he's like, oh, what are you talking about? He's like, what are you talking about? And Nikolai Malthus is like, you dare refuse my bachal? And he's just like, refuse your what? They this is the first time the Inner Spheres really had contact with the clans since then. The clans have all their own their own lingo, their own culture, their own terms of battle. You know, a battle means battle challenge. It's what you declare when you are setting the rules for battle, essentially, because everything's governed by rules. You know, Mubachal followed up with cursed eyebrowless clanner. Yeah, but yeah, like I was saying, it was in the cartoon. The cartoon itself is not canon. Well, I should say it's everything they show in the cartoon is it's non-canon canon. And like he was saying, that was actually retconned because yeah, the cartoon compared to like the actual written history of BattleTech is a bit funny. So obviously they're like, okay, this doesn't make sense, but we'll still keep it canon by making it non-canon, as in this is a cartoon they showed from the Tharcad Broadcasting Company. It is in-universe propaganda essentially. But the thing is, the character Nikolai Malthus actually exists in the canon, and he eventually found out and became very offended by his portrayal in the show, to where to where he basically went after the show makers. I don't remember exactly what happened, but a court case actually happened because of his depiction uh, in the cartoon. And when the judge basically said, you know, that he couldn't, uh, you know, that what he was doing wasn't like he was doing something that wasn't lawful, right? Like he was, I don't know exactly what the full details were, but basically, Nikolai Malthus basically also declared a batch on the judge. It's like, we don't do that here, guy. Yeah, he was kind of a laughing stock for a while. But however, in the latter part of his life, up until his death, he actually kind of had a bit of a redemption arc. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it's kind of fascinating. Definitely check out the history of Nikolai Malthus. It's silly and also kind of cool how they reintroduce a lot of this written in the lore. It's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek joke at the cartoon and how he probably would have actually reacted to it in the lore. So it's pretty funny.
You hear me, GW? You hear me, Games Workshop? This is how you fucking retcon.
Wow, that's super topical nowadays. Holy crap. I mean, this was pretty accurate when it originally released back then, but yeah, if you know, you know. Oh man.
You take something that's weird that doesn't fit anymore, that's so goddamn strange that it made it onto actual television, and you go, oh, well, this is propaganda from the Tharcad Broadcast Company.
Yeah, exactly.
You retcon it as an in-universe tongue-in-cheek joke. Boom. Handled. So in short, the model name is driven by this guy. Just don't be this guy, okay? He abducted a whole planet to play funny. Seriously.
Play funny.
There are even more variants. Far more.
Yeah, they talk about it in the was it BattleTech Legends or MechWarrior Legends?
Pryde being his blood name.
Oh,
And more.
PD, is that for Pride? Yeah, you find out about him in the Rise of the Jade Phoenix trilogy books, which I actually found as a single like omnibus book of all three books. Pretty fun series, pretty cool series. Definitely recommend checking out those line of books. It gave me a lot more of an insight with the Jade Falcons, how they think, how they do stuff, and this guy and his really unique rise to fame as a Sibco who couldn't hack it as a full-on mech warrior. Like he was trying to go for I think he failed to get a blood name. If you don't know, blood names are basically what clanners strive for, because they're all about eugenics. Yeah. They believe that the biggest and strongest will rule the day, and everything else is kind of a waste. So they literally have like honor fights to determine who's going to be added to the genetic lineage that will spawn the next group of mech warriors. They still have like naturally based, like naturally born children, but they tend to be looked at as second class citizens. They don't get the same recognition as what are called trueborns, which Aiden here is. Um, yeah, a whole gaggle of mess that's a topic to get into within the Battletech universe. But he didn't get that honor. Eventually, he got relegated with a group of freeborns. They're called, right? Naturally born people are freeborns or free births. That it's a bit of a slur on freeborns. He eventually like tricked his way into getting involved with the freeborn unit. Eventually made his way back up to re-reveal himself as a trueborn. A lot of people weren't happy about that, but was eventually able to kind of maneuver his way around to being involved with the fight, the invasion on Tukid, and actually became a really big deal and actually got a blood name and has an actual freeborn daughter who, to my knowledge, is actually from the last book I left off in the Twilight of the Clans saga, is essentially trying to turn the whole head on the whole, like only trueborn mech warriors or can be like the elite and can represent like the top line of clans compared to freeborns. Like after they lost after they lost the Battle of Tukid against the phone company, right? They've really had a lot of ranks depleted. Like they lost a lot of manpower, and so a lot of the trueborn mech warriors are all gone for the clans. Well, one of the ways they were trying to figure out how to turn that around was the idea of, hey, the daughter of this super amazing trueborn clanner here is actually attempting to, I think she was attempting to get a blood name, I think. It's been a while since I've read the books, but basically it was like an experiment. She was going through trials to kind of show the clans that, hey, your whole eugenics thing is kind of BS. I may be a freeborn, but I can still be just as good as all of you. We can be like the next stage of the clans to help bring the clans into a new era. And so that's his daughter, right? So yeah, Aiden Pride here. Pretty wild story. Jade Phoenix trilogy. Definitely check it out.
On that later, if you fucks vote for it. Anyway, he's in quite a few books that the setting has produced, namely Blood Name,
there you go,
the Clans,
Jade Phoenix.
Guard. And as an aside, look, if your military insignia is a fucking bird holding a katana, fix that shit. Falcon Guard or not.
It watches too much anime. Wow.
Anyways, Aiden.
All right, Tex.
And favored an Ultra AC-10 and an Ultra AC-5.
I mean, it's Battletech. Why wouldn't there be a katana involved in some way?
Systems, and he was okay in it until he got smoked by Comstar. Some would blame the fact that he drove a Timberwolf that day, as no summoner was available in his garrison.
That's true.
Cluster.
He did roll in Timberwolf for his last battle.
And Comstar tends not to fuck around. The Thor has few famous pilots. Being that it's actually a decent weapons platform and rides the line between small heavy and assault territory while not compromising the all-important balance for a good mech to become truly great in the right hands, the Thor has routinely lended itself to historical excellence. Famous pilots include Aiden Pride, who managed to be a fucking legend in Jade Falcon before he got curb stomped by Space AT&T for not paying his bills.
Aww.
Con Martha Pride drove one on and off her whole damn life.
Yep.
Star Commander Joanna smashed Con Natasha Karinsky at Twycross, driving a Thor all the while.
Man, you want to hear
Famous
about
inner
a
sphere pilots?
sad
You
story
ask?
about, man,
no.
read about Joanna.
We tend to drive the Flash
Hey.
Mad Cat because it makes clanners mad when we turn it into a wrecking ball for Solaris games.
No, my
Now, as for
Timberwolf.
other interesting facts,
That's a sick looking
I have to
design.
start with this. Before you go, oh man, Tex, it sounds like an anti-everything weapon wrapped in sexy
Wait, that
forbidden
has a-
technology. God, it's harder than an elemental's abs on core strength day.
What
Consider
is that? Is that
this.
Diamond Shark?
For the price of a Thor. For the price of a single Thor at 21,320,834 C-Bells,
That's a lot of money.
you could buy 11 Urban Mechs, or 7 Rommels, or
Yep.
3 Awesomes plus spare parts, or 2 Atlases plus spare parts, or
Yep.
30 Elementals and all their honor, or in 3052 C-Build conversion rates, you could buy enough burgers from Federated Fast Food to become king of Meat Mountain.
See,
Until the birds showed up.
you're
Birds
basically
always ruin Meat Mountain.
paying
Where
for
was
luxury.
Clan shit is expensive. Keep this in
Yeah.
mind. While it is an anti-everything platform that does everything really well, it can be easily further configured to do any specific thing better than anyone else. It's also really fucking expensive.
Yeah, you're
In the
paying for
large
what you
scheme
get.
of things, the Thor is the bass guitarist of any kick-ass rock band. Sure, he's as important as all get out, but he plays second string to the main show, which is the Timberwolf, or as I call it, the Mad Cat. Because you lost, clanners. You lost. You had every single edge, and you lost. Yes, I'm biased. Long live the Inner Sphere. Remember May 20th, 3052, you clan bastards. We're coming for you. Anyways, till
Oh,
next
okay,
time,
Tex.
or until YouTube decides you shouldn't watch me at all. I'm Tex. My editor is Matt Asgardian. And now, motherfucking Duncan Fisher.
Hey, it's the Duncan Fisher.
We've got a few minutes before the next match. How about we cut some of these spots while we're waiting? You need some water?
Water? No. I could use a refill, though. No, I'm good for now. Bottle's in here.
The bottle's in here. I'm all good, guys.
All right. Let's start with the Steiner Investment Council spot.
All right, let's take a look here. I contacted George Ledoux for this. He wanted my channel. He watched my channel for a bit to see what I was about. Came up with the concept, wrote the funny script, and found additional voice talent and everything we needed. Hat is off. My hat is off to my man. My hat is off to the man.
Okay, Rick, let's do this
says
Blackhead
here.
Legion one.
Okay,
Blackhead Legion.
But it's actually Black Pants Legion.
Oh, right. Of course. I knew that. You should get the lighting fixed in here, Rick.
Right. Okay. Rolling. Whenever you're ready.
Hello, everybody. Duncan Fisher here. You know, battle mechs and the Solaris arenas are a passion of mine, but today I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you about the Black Pants Legion. What is the Black Pants Legion, you may ask? It's a fantastic
Duncan, you're putting a bit too much emphasis on the word pants.
Wait, do
of
I do
course.
that?
Got it.
Do I say black pants sleeve?
From the top. Hello, everybody. Duncan Fisher here. You know, battle mechs and the Solaris arenas are a passion of mine, but today I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you about the Black Pants Legion. What is the Black
Okay, now you're putting
Pants
too much
Legion, you may
emphasis
ask?
on the black now.
It's a fine...
No, now you're saying black too hard.
Just keep rolling. Today, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you about the Black Pants Club. What is the Black Pants Club?
No, it's Legion, not club. Look, how about I get you some water or black coffee? How do you take it?
I take it with a double shot of Irish whiskey. What's your point?
Well, I'm getting a lot of dry mouth sounds, like you're dehydrated, or maybe we
Honestly,
should
I
do
could use some more water, honestly.
Maybe after you've sobered, when I have some food or
Oh, I see. Fuck you, Rick. I am not drunk. or even a little tipsy. Listen, whoever wrote this script for the Black Pants Legion has never watched the show. This script is bullshit. It's fake. You know why I don't do a lot of commercials, Rick? It's not because I'm pretty fucking expensive to hire. It's because I have to believe
But I wouldn't
in
be
a product
surprised.
to endorse it. Usually. Then the Black Pants Legion is a pretty goddamn endorsable show in my book. I love it. Even watched it once, for Christ's sake.
Hey, there we go.
Black Pants Legion may be the last fucking bastion of unadulterated fun on YouTube. I mean, it isn't the sort of channel that has an adenoidally challenged British kid being snarky for the sake of videos. It's not some fucking punk-run channel where grown men fall out of their chair at jump scares like some millennial bitch. It's actually a fucking rarity on YouTube. Being a channel that has never tried to be fucking monetized and regularly gives the finger to the man. I mean, shit. Everyone's a goddamn sellout these days. Hawking games that don't work, selling shit that's garbage, shitting on their fans. So many channels are just talking heads, whose only point is to sell a product, and there's no heart in that. And I'm all about fucking heart, that's for damn sure.
At this point, the producers in the background are like, write that down, write that down. Is someone recording this? He's giving us gold here. He's not even trying. Oh, man. Yeah, as you can see here, Duncan Fisher is part of the Solaris Broadcasting Company. So if you get into fisticuffs for big cash at Solaris, you guarantee you're going to be hearing this guy running commentary. I believe both in MechWarrior 4 as well as in the more recent Solaris DLC in MechWarrior 5.
I love the games on Solaris, and I fucking love the mech jocks who give it their all. If you pour your goddamn heart and passion into something, then you've got my respect. So, yeah. The Black Pants Legion is the kind of YouTube channel where a misanthrope drinks his scotch, smokes his cigars, and says whatever the hell he wants for hours at a time. Kind of reminds me of myself, now that I think about it. No scripts, infrequently edited, and brutally honest. The Black Pants Legion is worth subscribing to. The question is, are you Legion material? Fuck it. All right, let's record this piece of shit script before I change my mind.
I think you nailed it, sir.
Actually, Duncan, I think we just did. That was great. I'll cut it up and send it off. But seriously, you really should ease up on the scotch during your show.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Rick. Nah, fuck you. I'm
Damn.
Duncan Fisher. Ha!
All right. Well, that was a nice little history lesson of the Thor/Summoner. I'm gonna have to take a look at that deconfiguration. That honestly, that I kind of vibe with the deconfiguration for the Summoner. Yeah, definitely. Next time I go and play some MechWarrior online, definitely gonna look for the configuration for the sword, the Summoner. Gosh damn it! I said sword. That's a Thumber and sword put together. You know what I mean. Okay. Anyway, thank you all for joining me for watching the Black Pants Legion's Tex Talks Battletech for the Thor/Summoner. Let me know what other videos you'd like for me to react to from Tex Talks Battletech, as well as other amazing content creators. And until then, I'll see you guys here again next time on the dance floor.